Hello GlowGetters, and welcome back to the GlowUp Chronicles. Today we are diving into posts from the subreddit r/LoseIt and discovering how being fat is ruining your life. Surprised at how much better everyone treats me, not just skinny people. I gained almost 30 pounds over the pandemic, hence why I'm on this sub. I notice people treat me way worse in public. I still ask the same questions I used to, crack the same jokes at strangers, and act the same. My remarks used to be met with an enthusiastic response, a smile, or a laugh. Now people just kinda don't care what I have to say ever since I got fat. And here I thought I had a great personality. No, I was just hot. I was pregnant last year. I went back to work December 2021. I was out of shape and had a lot of fat fluff. No one talked to me. No one noticed me. I have resting face, so I was nearly unapproachable, despite my efforts. I've been exercising and eating a little better since going back to work. My body is looking more fit and slim. 6 months of effort. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, and people mention that they haven't seen me in a long time, asking how I've been. Girl, I've passed you in the hallway every day. How are you only just noticing me when I've been back to work for 7 months? The honest answer is that people enjoy interacting with people when they are more pleasing to look at. It is why humans love puppies. When I worked at an airport with a huge amount of staff, I specifically remember everyone treating me differently when I was thinner versus larger, even within my friend group with variety in sizes. Then I observed it when I was bigger, watching how differently thinner people were accepted and treated. When I gained weight, I had a coworker I never conversed with other than strictly work-related make an incredibly rude comment out of the blue. She came in one morning and got my attention. I kindly said, "Yes." She casually asked, "Have you gained weight?" Me, "Yes, I think so." She goes, "Some people are into that," and walks off. I went to the grocery store in a messy bun and worn in shorts and got checked out at least 3 times. In a grocery store. I never even used to get checked out in clubs or bars. SMH. It seems the halo effect, a real term, is at play here. I often thought about that, and I think there's a massive part that is overlooked. Losing weight successfully says a lot about your personality. Being able to control yourself, to calm yourself, to bring a project from A to Z, to take care of yourself, to find motivation, to not indulge in laziness, the desire to live longer, to be healthy. And guess what? Those things are traits that most people want around them in friends or partners. And even if people aren't conscious of it, they will just get drawn to you. Not so much because you're skinny, but because they saw that you went from bigger to what you are now. I'm ready to be downvoted again since people hate the truth. Being obese is so much more than how you look. When you are obese, you are visibly broadcasting to the world that something is wrong with you. Being obese is the effect of bad choices that's being made for a number of reasons, none of them positive. No one enjoys the pains, hardship, immobility, and general uncomfortableness of being obese, not to mention the plethora of health issues that inevitably comes. So the reason some is obese is because there is something in their life causing them to self-destruct to a severe degree. Very few would want to invite that kind of negativity into their life. And to mention the obvious elephant in the room. Being obese is aesthetically unpleasant, and yet another negative making people wanting to avoid you. Being thin or slim doesn't in such an enormously visible way broadcasting at a glance any of these issues a person might have, which makes you appear a lot more positive and approachable. I think there's also a notion of success. Society assumes everyone wants to be slim. So slim people are seen as those who succeeded, and obese people as those who failed. Therefore, slim people are seen as smart, disciplined, go-getters, people who can reach their goals, make things happen, the kind of people you can trust with responsibilities you'd like to work with, even be friends. Obese people are seen as the opposite of that. We obviously know it's not that simple, but I think such mentality is strongly ingrained in our minds. People treat you better when you conventionally look better. That includes how you carry yourself, confidence, body language, tone, etc. I bet you are also more confident and I'm sure dress better, as most brands build style off a normal body weight. I noticed a huge increase in the level of treatment when I started dressing better and acting with confidence with most people and customer service people. I was raised around toxic fat phobia and internalized that for years. My weight has always fluctuated. I'm not naturally thin, so I obsessed over diet and exercise to stay at a certain weight. People definitely treated me better when I was thin and fit. Everyone, not just certain people. We all have subconscious biases and need to examine them. I'm going through age biases right now, and it's crazy how much different people treat me now that I'm older. It's like I don't exist. Humans are weird. Yes, because people assume skinny means put together and fat means lazy, angry and downer even if you are smiling. It shows you the extent to which magazines, movies, popular culture in general train us to value thinness. Same. I went from being very fit to getting fat because of 2 sudden health issues that keep me from the active lifestyle I had before. People don't smile as much, don't help as much, even though I need the help now more than ever now that I'm newly disabled. Don't take me as seriously. It's horrible. For those who got treated better after losing weight, how do you deal with the bitterness and resentment of knowing you weren't treated better beforehand solely because of your weight? I used to be overweight from the day I was born to until after graduating high school and naturally lost weight after I stopped binge eating from stress due to childhood issues. I was relentlessly bullied near the point of suicide hundreds of thousands of times solely because I was fat. When I lost weight, everyone who treated me like shit suddenly started being friendly towards me and acted like they never did anything wrong to me. I suddenly went from the ugly fat nerdy girl no one likes to the fun quirky goth chick in their eyes. Absolutely nothing about my personality changed. How do you not feel immense anger about that? It seriously fucks with my paranoia, and I can't help but wonder just how people would treat me if I was back at that same weight as before. I would really appreciate some advice. The way people interacted with me changed completely for the better. I dealt with the resentment like a child, arrogant, angry, and eventually distanced myself from everyone I knew. I then formed other friendships and a long-term relationship, and now I'm 35 and honestly couldn't say I suffered at all with my prior immaturity, but I have learned not to let resentment fester, let it go. I'm male, and I've been overweight almost my entire adult life, so a little more than 30 years. In the last 15, I've yo-yoed between less than 10 pounds, overweight and 100 pounds, overweight several times. I can tell at various weights how the opposite sex will respond to me. The threshold of clinical obesity seems to also be the threshold of dateability for me. At a normal weight, it's an even more stark difference in some ways. Women approach me. It's more subtle but still present in my professional life. People take me more seriously when I'm thinner. I'm not resentful in the least. After all, I am responsible for me. However, I have learned to see through people's BS when they say, weight doesn't matter, or personality is what really counts. It's actually been a study in accepting humans as being human. Acceptance is a good thing. I get it. I understand it's unattractive and reflects poorly on me. I can be superficial, too. But, please, I'm more insulted when someone tries to BS me about it than they just tell me the truth. People take me more seriously when I'm thinner. I've recently been pondering the fact that all the executives and board members in the big global bank I work for are thin. None of them are even the slightest bit overweight. I've been wondering whether the discipline they've needed in their careers to get to the top also translated into discipline around food, exercise, and health in general, or whether it's bias at play and they have been promoted partly because they were thin. It is funny you mention professional life, as I have had the completely opposite experience as a 4 feet 9 inches woman. I have been everything from underweight to morbidly obese. When I was underweight or normal weight or even slightly overweight, people would not take me seriously because they found me cute and guess in a sense very non-threatening. Easy to go over me, decide over me. As I had no other chance, I learned to abuse the cuteness and manipulate people to get what I needed, to be heard. But it was exhausting and felt disgusting. Maybe also because I function introvert and hate having to be social and charming, lol. When I gained weight, I actually gained weight on the world. Started to be heard and taken seriously. I hope being fat for 10 years has strengthened my voice. I hope being 40 now dampens the effect of thin me a bit because I have to go down in size again for various reasons. And even though still being overweight, the cute factor has crept back in both in good and bad ways. Some look forward to being treated better, or resent how they were treated when obese. I liked how I was treated and how my smarts mattered all of a sudden, and am kind of scared a bit of not being taken serious again because it frankly makes me mad. I am a smart woman, goddammit. I should not have to rely on being cute to get what I want. To have people believe I have brains, am technically savvy, and can do my own shit. My current work life knows because they hired my morbidly obese butt for being smart. I hope that won't change. This is why I got fat. It was my subconscious that kept on making me add weight until I was finally starting to be seen. Why don't they see me? Let's make me bigger. That was also the obesity threshold. Now I'm assertive enough so that being of my gender makes people think I'm aggressive, and I couldn't care less. and I have just began shedding the weight. I know people will think of me as of that old bitch. I'm not that old, but women are called old kinda sooner than men. But better bitch than being stepped on and ignored at every move. It's the oldest story in the world, unfortunately. It's how people are. First impressions are powerful. It's why people with significant burns and scarring find it difficult in public life. I think of how I react, for example, to a very cute child. The response is wired in, even when I actively try to look past it. There's an old saying, people first drink with their eyes. I could have written this LOL. I have always been the ugly fat nerdy girl, and I feel like the smaller I get, the more acceptable my quirks are. LOL, shit that was cringe when I was bigger is suddenly adorable, and it's so gross to me. I made a post about this on my FB, and hella people told me that the only reason people were nice to me now is BC I'm happier. But I know that isn't it, LOL anyways. Ik how to deal it, but it makes me RLY bitter. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please comment, like, and subscribe. We curate blunt, no-frills, motivational content dedicated to keeping you on track and committed to reaching your goals. Become a glow-getter today, look better tomorrow.